Assalamualaikum semua.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah, there's a technological and digital era glitch sikit. Kita tunggu semua lagi participant untuk join us in this session ya. Boleh ke semua peserta?
Yes, boleh, no problem.
Okay, give me 1 more minute. Yeah, 1 more minute. I promise after that kita akan uh, present.
Mr. Chairman, I will be replacing, I think, Yushi Utaka.
Yeah. I've been informed about that.
Okay, thank you very much.
By Dr. Wan tadi. Rugi saya belajar bahasa Jepun pagi tadi. Ohayou gozaimasu dia kata. And suddenly dia tak apa.
Shall we start presentation now? Shall we start with our presentation now?
Sure, please do.
Let's begin with the first presenter, yeah?
Who is the first presenter? So I can start now? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I can start now, right? All right. Okay, so let's, without any time wasted, uh, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everybody. So because the time is only 10 minutes, I'm just gonna breeze through. Okay, so what I'm presenting here today is a joint research with me and my colleague. It's about TikTok and how young Malaysians who are the first-time voters, what is their reaction to TikTok as an election campaign tool? Okay, next. Yeah, okay, all right. So the use of social media in elections has gone on for 2 decades. It started in America, but it's catching up in Malaysia. When we saw 2008 general election, the opposition party uses it to challenge the Barisan Nasional's hegemony. And they continued in the 13th general election. The social media continued to be the contributor to reduce the majority of BN to Pakatan. Then in 2021, when the voting age lowered from 21 to 18, a lot of political parties and candidates saw this is an opportunity to fully use the social media to attract young voters because they assume these are the ones who are actively using the social media. So in this respect, we were focusing on TikTok, sorry. Okay, so the next. Okay, so this is what it looked like during the general election 15. The president of Muda, Said Sadiq, was using TikTok a lot for his campaign. He had about 800,000 followers following him on TikTok. And Barisan National candidate Sham Jalil was also using his 125,000 Facebook followers follow through. So PH was using Twitter. Perikatan Nasional was the one that used a lot of TikTok as their election campaign tool. Okay, move on. Okay, in terms of social media use and political campaign, there's some divided views amongst researchers. Some studies found that social media is very good in disseminating election information. It's good in disseminating information that helps people understand political issues. And that some studies found internet plays a very greater role in creating political efficacy among young people. This is an international studies that found correlation between social media and greater political efficacy among young people. But for those who are studying on young people and politics, they found that young people are actually not interested in mainstream politics. They're very disenchanted. They have no interest in our political leaders. But that doesn't mean they're not interested in politics, but they just have their own way of expressing their political engagement. A lot of young people are said to be in some studies that they become more confident on who to decide after they are exposed to social media content. But that is international studies. So why my colleague and I was thinking is that, at the turn when 21 down to 18 is the age of voting, we want to see if this is a similar trend that's happening internationally. We want to see if it's the same positive correlation between political engagement, young people, and the use of social media. Next. So the previous studies was a lot on quantitative, but we want to know more about what they think. So we adopted a qualitative study. And for a start, we open an open-ended questionnaire. It's open-ended. It's in two areas, in Sabah and in Penang. The respondents are all first-time voters. So about 160 of them took part and answered the questionnaires that we had, and we analyzed the textual data thematically. Okay, next. Just a little overview about who are those who have got involved with this. About 90.6% of them says they really want to vote. They're very excited to vote. Only a small group, about 15 of them, say they don't plan to vote as yet because they're undecided. These are the ones who are sitting on the fence, but largely a lot of them are very keen and enthusiastic to become voters. Okay, next. Next.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. While there's over 90% says they want to vote, but when it comes to the use of social media, a very small group of them say they watch election campaigns on TikTok. It's about 33.8%, which is only half of those who are in the study. Okay, so we move on to the next data. So when we look at the reason why this is so, yeah, thematically, we found two things, two main issues. It's a clash of lifestyle and content issue. Clash of lifestyle means is that the informants that we got involved here are actually not interested in TikTok. They don't have an account. Either that even if they do, they're not active. Basically because they're very busy with their studies. The only reason why they have TikTok is because their lecturer make them submit the assignment on TikTok. And most times they say this election campaign does not pop up in the FYP. Other than that, they rely on other social media like Facebook more rather than TikTok. Another issue is content. The second thing we found was content. They shared with us that their fear for the influence of TikTok on them, and they have the lack of trust and the credibility of the content. Okay, and that they find the campaigning TikTok is very toxic. Okay, so can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so this is what we found the themes are. There's a mismatch. Yeah? The lifestyle they're not users of TikTok. And more importantly, they're more worried about the content of what was passed on the TikTok with concerns about the election. They have very grave distrust of the credibility of it. Okay. Okay, next. Right, so what we got here is a very different situation among first-time voters as opposed to the studies done by Ohmi, De Vries, and Albaik, which saw a different development. What we found here is that TikTok doesn't lead to a political engagement at all. And a lot of them here are not concerned whether it's social media as in TikTok or whatever. They're more concerned about the content, okay? The credibility of the content and the accuracy of the content. So if you want to use TikTok, for instance, to attract first-time voters, there's a great need to first see who are these young people first. You need to know what is their lifestyle like. For instance, our young people have very different value system from the West. Most of our young people here are very studious, so they prefer to spend more time on their studies rather than hooking up on TikTok. Many of them declare they're not the TikTokism, they say. And they hate TikTok because they say the content is quite toxic. So moving on to the next slide. Yeah, to conclude is that to understand young first-time voters' voting decision in social media, you need to have a look into their lives first. Who are they? Okay. So because this shapes their consumption pattern of social media for voting decision. Now, these digital natives, they are born into the social media. It doesn't mean they will actively use it for political knowledge. Instead, what they're telling us here is that TikTok is not suitable for political campaign. Actually, it is only made for entertainment and other leisure activities. To gain their support, they prefer conventional communication, which is face-to-face because it's more genuine. They get to see things for real rather than watching everything from TikTok. And so with that, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Shall we proceed to the Q&A session?
Yeah, okay.
Are there any questions to be raised?
Maybe later.
We shall then proceed to the next presenter, Muhammad Ikram, with his presentation Perpindahan Ibu Kota Jakarta ke Kalimantan, Peranan Malaysia Masyarakat Pantai Timur Sabah dalam meminimumkan impak keselamatan nasional.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. So, Farhana, can you help me to share my slide? Alright. So, can you make it large? Yeah, okay. So, can you go for, yes, thank you so much. So, this is my topic, Perpindahan Ibu Kota Jakarta ke Kalimantan, 2 titik bertindih, peranan masyarakat Pantai Timur Sabah dalam meminimumkan impak keselamatan nasional. Me, myself, Muhammad Ikram Muhammad Rizwan, and Professor Madya Dr. Ramli Dodah. We are from Fakulti Sains Sosial dan Kemanusiaan Universiti Malaysia Sabah. So first of all, I would like to say I'm so sorry because I cannot open my video due to the internet connections. Because just now, I have an issue to open the Zoom. All right, without further ado, I believe that I just have 10 minutes only. So can we move to the next slide, please? So this is isi kandungan. We start with pengenalan and then konsep fenomena kawasan kelabu GAP and then polemik non-traditional security, peranan masyarakat dan cadangan penambahbaikan, and last but not least is conclusion or kesimpulan. Alright, so we move to the next slide. Alright, so as we know pada 16 Ogos, alright, so 2019, Rantau Asia Tenggara telah digemparkan dengan pengumuman pemindahan Ibu Kota Indonesia iaitu IKN daripada Jakarta ke Kalimantan. So pemindahan tersebut akan dilaksanakan pada tahun 2024 which is next year with the cost of 466 trillion rupiah which is seems to the equivalent to RM 135.9 billion. So for your all information that perpindahan ibu kota Indonesia ini bukanlah kali pertama because pernah berlaku banyak kalilah. We start with the Yogyakarta and then Bukit Tinggi dan sebagainya. So same goes to the Malaysia because we also have moved our capital. Tapi kita perpindahan dari pejabat pengurusan iaitu Kuala Lumpur kepada Putrajaya. So garis persepanjang darat antara Kalimantan Utara dan Pantai Timur Sabah adalah lebih kurang 2019.5 km dari melakukan Tawau, Lahad Datu dan Sadakan. Inilah garis sepadan negara kita yang orang kata amat hampir dengan ibu kota Jakarta yang baru iaitu Kalimantan atau digelar sebagai Nusantara. So kajian ini akan menganalisis impak keselamatan terhadap Malaysia khususnya di Pantai Timur Sabah lah, seperti mana yang saya jelaskan tadi iaitu terdiri daripada Tawau, Lahad Datu dan Sadakan. Right, can we move to the next slide? So this paper, I will use the concept fenomena kawasan kelabu GAP which is after Cold War, bentuk ancaman bukan lagi melibatkan peperangan dan persaingan persenjataan dan tidak ada lagi berlaku orang kata persaingan kuasa lah, defensive and offensive. Due to that thing, or phenomena, Peter Sharp, one of the pioneer for this concept, telah menjelaskan dan menghujahkan fenomena keselamatan sekarang ini adalah lebih melibatkan kepada ancaman bukan ketenteraan seperti taun, orang kata food security, ancaman keganasan, terorisme dan sebagainya. So ini juga boleh menyebabkan kepada ketidakstabilan negara, rantau maupun dunia. Baik, next. So polemik non-traditional security ini di pantai timur Sabah sebenarnya telah lama berlaku, tetapi apabila berlakunya perpindahan ibu kota tersebut, kita khawatir ya, di mana akan wujud sebenarnya memang sudah ada jalan-jalan tikus, tetapi apabila berlakunya perpindahan tersebut, kita khawatir akan berlaku lagi jalan-jalan tikus yang baru di persempadan antara dua buah negara. So antaranya adalah seperti penyimpan dadah, di mana penyimpan dadah antara sempadan Indonesia dan Malaysia masih mempunyai beberapa kawasan berisiko. Sekurang terdapat 1,400 laluan haram di wilayah Kalimantan Utara. Ini yang kita kenal pasti yang lama. So sekiranya kalau berlaku berlaku perpindahan, kita risau akan ada lagi wujud seperti mana yang saya katakan sebentar tadi. Daripada 1,400 tak mustahil will up to 2,000 or 3,000. We uncertain about that thing, but ia mungkin akan berlaku. So that's why penyelundupan sabu seberat 5165.3 gram telah melalui pelabuhan Tunuan Taka Nunukan Kalimantan Utara yang dilakukan pada tahun 2013. Bahkan perintah penyelundupan itu dilakukan oleh seorang DPO yang menetap di Malaysia. Baik, seterusnya. So penyelundupan manusia, human smuggling, persempadan menunukan masih menjadi akses yang digunakan dalam penyelundupan manusia ke Malaysia. Masih dalam suku pertama tahun 2023 ini, sekurang-kurangnya terdapat 4 kes penyelundupan manusia dengan modus penghantaran pekerja migran atau pekerja migran haram. Jumlah keseluruhan pekerja migran yang disebutkan ialah 38 orang melalui calo. Calo ini adalah penggunaan bahasa Indonesia, tapi kalau dalam bahasa Malaysia kita katakan sebagai pengeluar tiket haram lah. So pada Januari 2023, 17 orang telah diselup tanpa dokumen sah dan diminta membayar sebanyak RM3,135,000 rupiah lah. Okey, untuk seorang, untuk kos perjalanan ke Malaysia. So normally mereka akan gunakan daripada Nunukan menuju ke Sebatik dan seterusnya ke Tawau, Sandakan, Kunang, Datu dan akhirnya ke Kota Kinabalu. Seterusnya. Baik, so penyelundupan barang. So berdasarkan data Pejabat Pengawasan Perkhidmatan Kastam, sepanjang tahun 2022 terdapat 80 kes. So barang bukti yang paling dominan ialah penyelundupan kosmetik jenis Brilliant dari Filipina sebanyak 35,252 unit. Seterusnya. So inilah hasilnya di mana risiko penyelundupan barang, dadah dan orang ini berlaku disebabkan oleh pertama peningkatan permintaan, percambahan ekonomi dan juga pertambahan populasi. Oleh itu apabila berlakunya perpindahan ibu kota ini, tidak mustahil bahawa ketiga-tiga ini akan meningkatkan juga kepada risiko peningkatan penyelundupan barang, dadah dan juga manusia. Seterusnya. So peranan masyarakat sepatutnya bagi pendapat kami bahawa selain pada bergantung kepada kerajaan, so masyarakat pula perlu menjalankan peranan mereka lah, kerana kita tidak mahu ataupun dasar-dasar yang dilakukan top down sahaja. Sebaliknya kita perlulah mengambil iktibar daripada down kepada top. Seterusnya. Kesimpulan, so peminat ibu kota Jakarta tidak dinafikan boleh memberikan impak positif kepada negara, tetapi pada masa yang sama juga kita perlu berhati-hati dengan sebarang impak ataupun lebihan spillover, orang kata kesan impak keselamatan dari sudut yang negatif terhadap negara kita sendiri, khususnya di pantai timur Sabah. Baik, itu saja. Thank you so much.
Let us move forward to the next presenter, Ms. Sapura.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to the MC as well as the co-MC. Okay, the title of my presentation today is roles of children, parents, school, communities, and district police in avoiding road accident among minors. Actually, this is paper a research done by our students who already graduated. And with me is also beside me as the co-supervisor is also apa nama Puan Ani Farahida from law faculty, and I'm from faculty of administrative science and policy studies. Both of us are from UITM Seremban 3. Okay, can next slide please. Okay, basically about the research background. The minors age defined as age 12 and below. So the study is focusing on minors because of their situation. According to the Child Development Motorcycle Safety Report prepared by WHO, stated that road accident or injuries among minors often occurs in a situation, many situations, including them as a pedestrian, passengers, or if the minors themselves are the one who driving without license. So in our case, whereby appeared in our newspaper, the trigger one in Malaysia at that time was year 2022. It was a case whereby a clerk came home at night while driving and hit 7 minors who were cycling on the roadside, and the bicycle were modified. And this bicycle for Malaysia, we call it as a bicycle lajak. Lajak means they modified the bicycle in such a way that they can speed than a normal bicycle. So another situation is a minor who actually drove car without driving license. And then when this issue pop up questions whereby when this road accident occurs involving minors, so the situation is that who is to be blamed, who is to be responsibility, who is supposed to be responsible. Okay, and then is it the parents, is it the minor itself, is it the police, and so on and so forth. So we also have a visit on the road safety plan of Malaysia between 2014 to 2020. Okay, and then actually the rules inside the state, the content inside the road safety plan already address all these issues relating to road safety in the country. But then again, why is still happening? So can we look at the next slide? So therefore, we found that road accident cases in Malaysia are still increasing every year, and we're more worrying because it involves a minor. So one is the reason is our concern is because the nature of the child itself, minor, very fragile, okay. And then sometimes the fault, they said that is the fault of the parents, like the case in 2022. Why didn't parents control, ensure that the kids sleep at night, stay at home rather than riding bicycle in the middle of the night on the road, And then some people say that, it's an effort comes from the school who educate. And then the associations of parents and teachers, in Malaysia we call it as, in Semenanjung we call it as PIBG, Persatuan Ibu Bapa Guru. And then, or is it the District Education Office, PPD, ensure in setting up certain regulation. Okay, and then some people also blame that is the negligence of the community. In the situations, the driver in year 2022 is the clerk who stayed around there, so careless in driving and hit all the 7 kids who riding bicycle. Okay, and then some also even said that police failed to carry their roles in looking after the road safety. Okay, next. So therefore, we had this research conceptual framework trying to look into the independent variables of 5 areas: the role of children, parents, school, community, and district police, trying to see their connection in terms of avoidance of road accident among minors. Okay, next. So here are the framework of our research methodology. We use a quantitative survey, and then our researchers studied 361 individuals. Location, they chose 2 locations, one in Melaka and one in Shah Alam. Why these 2 locations are being tested at pilot study? Because they is a busy road, and then they found that also the area experienced similar cases, a lot of accidents involving minor, and then the survey using a written Likert scale methodology. Next. Okay, so the respondents involved is 361 respondents. Anyone who go through the roads, yeah, these are their profile. Okay, whether they are single, married, or single parents, yeah. Okay, next. So basically, the respondents are the people from the public. Okay, so here are our findings. In terms of the dependent variables on the issue of avoidance of road accident among children as the users. So most of our respondents agree that Malaysia has implemented various alternatives to avoid road accident. So that is in line with the Malaysian road safety rules, yeah, plan, yeah, 2014 to 2020. Okay, another one is when we study on the role of the minor itself, the role of the children itself, yeah, we find that there is a moderate positive relationship. There is a relationship, but this is a moderate level. Another one is the role of parents. Okay, surprisingly, there is a relationship, but it's a moderate level. Okay, the next one, next slide. And then we find that the respondents said that they put heavy reliance on the role of school in ensuring the avoidance of road accidents among minors. Next one. Okay, and their opinion that the role, no, the previous slide, please. Okay, the role of community is moderate level. And the last one, they of opinion that beside the school, is the police supervision is considered as critical in terms of the role in terms of avoiding the road accident among minors. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so because we only have 10 minutes, so we to the discussions. Okay, basically, one of the issue here is that the involving minors is the most dangerous part, is that the minor driving without license is the factors that contribute most leading to the road accident involving them. Yeah, this is in line with other scholar studies. Yeah, when it comes to minor driving without license, that one can be car. Another one is situation is that they have a vehicle called bicycle which they modified. So somebody must be looking into is it allowed or not? It is safe or not? Yeah. And then the role of the police district, their role here, we are looking at in terms of enforcement and frequent conduct roadblock. This can reduce the disciplinary problem. Yeah. Another one is that parents, the studies, we found that the feedback from respondents is that parents have a positive impact on the children development because they are the one who raise the children. But the situation is the parents cannot enforce strict, not so strict with the children. If they are too strict, there would not be an effective way to prevent the road accident among children from happening. So this is also aligned with the studies, scholar studies. So here, role of school. A role of school is critical. Ministry of Education, I have this implemented the syllabus called PKJR, Pendidikan Keselamatan Jalan Raya. So that is being implemented at school. Okay, basically it does help to reduce the road accident according to our scholar. Okay, and another one is that school rules. School rules can shape student personality, and stricter rules they are the more virtuous. Yeah. So our respondents agree on that, and also our scholars studies also emphasize that the role of school is very critical in ensuring avoidance of accident involving the minor. So what about the community? So here is the community engagement in safety industry can reduce situation like road crash prevention, crash reduction, or anything that is very, very serious. If they are there, if they are careful, so this will encourage things are not things that very critical can be avoided. Yeah, you can lessen the impact. Okay, so the community engagement also can encourage the involvement of children and young people in all safety programs that conducted by states or community associations. So this is things that we found from the survey. Okay, next slides. So as a conclusion, we found that everybody agreed that road accident is something that is beyond our expectation control. So from the studies, from all those 5 or 6 categories of respondents, area of IVs, and respondents said that no party wants to be blamed, had liable for an incident that happened. Okay, so therefore we find that the role of police district is very important. Together with the school, with as an agent in educating the children about road safety. Nevertheless, parents must also contribute in educating their children because the children is under their roof. And then community also must play the role. They must care and assist. That's all our presentation. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions later.
Thank you for the presentation. We shall shift the Q&A session to the after all the presenters have presented. So next we shall have Dr. Azli. Dr. Azlin, do you want us to help you share slides or
Yes,
you prefer to
please.
share your own slides?
Please help. Thank you.
Please hold on while we set up.
Sure.
You may begin your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Farhana. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everybody. Thank you for having me today, and thank you to MSC13 and also PSSM for conducting the conference. So I'll be presenting this is not a done research yet. This is a research going to be done, inshallah, next year. And the title of this presentation is Navigating Complexities Post-COVID-19 Era, an Adaptive Performance Framework from Malaysian Police Teams. I am Dr. Azlin Ahmad Zawawi from FSPPP Kedah, and my field is organizational behavior, specifically in the public sector. Next slide, please. So this will be the contents of my presentation, and I'll try to make it short, inshallah. Next. Okay, so we know that COVID, for the past 3 years, when COVID first came, and now we can still feel the impact of COVID and how it affected us, not only personally, but professionally. So in terms of team working, specifically in teams involving public servants or government servants, there are many impact of COVID on the way people's work. And my focus is on team working. So these are some of the impact of COVID on police teamwork. Okay, the first one is lack of communication and coordination, because most work has now changed to remote work, and there are changing orders and SOPs and regulations, and because of that, the police needs to have very strong communication and coordination. The second one is increased stress and fatigue, both mentally and physically. This has put a lot of stress on the way they work and make them difficult to work as a team. The third one is difficulties in building trust. because COVID has made working so fast, as we have to adapt to changes very quickly. The building of trust among team members have also to be quick, but we know the foundation of trust is not built overnight, and because of this, this has affected police teams, not only among team members, but also the public trust in police, okay? And the fourth one is increased workloads. Police departments have been facing increased workload since the pandemic began and up till now. This is due to many factors such as the need to enforce COVID-19 regulations, response, increase in crime, and also they have to provide mental health support to them and their family members and also the team members. So this has made collaborative work and team working much harder. And finally, of course, the technological challenges, because when we change to remote work and virtual working, the police are not excluded. And because of that, they have to upgrade their technological skills very fast, well, which involve, as we know, video conferencing tools, collaboration tools and whatnot. Okay. So next slide. So when I say being adaptive, because my work is on adaptive performance, what does being adaptive means? So specifically for police team, when they have to be adaptive to situation, it means that as a team, they have to have high situational awareness. They have to be aware and alert of their surroundings and circumstances, and they have to understand deeply the current situation, context, and potential risks that they have to face. The next one, what being adaptive means is being flexible. But we know as police, and no matter whether they are individuals or team, being flexible is quite hard because they have to follow orders. But being adaptive means that they have to adjust their approach and tactics to the evolving situation, which might involve them changing strategies, reallocating resources, and adopting new methods. And they also have to be skilled in problem solving, especially in analyzing complex situations, coming up with creative solutions on the spot, finding alternative when the current plan is not working. They also have to make quick and informed decisions, especially in changing situation. And making decisions for the police are very much critical because sometimes they have to face life and death situation and also handling criminals. And the last one is being adaptive for police teams means they have to coordinate their teams very smoothly, especially or even when facing uncertainty. And they have to know their team members' strengths, weaknesses, roles, and responsibilities. So why do I choose police teams to build the adaptive performance framework? Why police team? There are many reasons why police teams are chosen. First of all, is of course because they work in a dynamic and unpredictable situation. It requires them to make quick decisions, and they have to adapt to uncertainties and challenges. And this is a very much an important component of being adaptive, or a very much important component in team adaptive performance. The second one is they serve the public. They serve the public and they ensure people's safety. Therefore, it is important. Therefore, this signifies their importance to their work to the nation. And also police, they face a variety of scenarios, routine and emergencies, and having adaptive behavior allows them to perform better in a diverse situation. Besides that, adaptive performance will allow police teams to enhance their teamwork and collaboration. And adaptive performance is crucial for cohesiveness and synchronization of team working. Police also work in a high stress environment. They face crimes, kill criminals on a daily basis, and being adaptive helps them to manage stress source and uphold their professionalism. Okay, and they also face legal and ethical consideration involving complex issues, and also they have to face cultural differences, which involve community relation. Therefore, they have to be adaptive to safeguard the community. Next slide. I'm like a train. Okay, kena laju. Okay, so adaptive teams. For those who are not familiar, adaptive teams are able to effectively manage unexpected situation and changes. So these are just some of the issues surrounding Malaysian police. And the issues surrounding Malaysian police are ongoing up till today. They have to be able to collaborate, communicate, they have to adjust their strategies and tactics. Therefore, it is very, very important for police team to be adaptive. Okay, so understanding adaptive performance. There are several key components. Next slide. And the several key components of adaptive performance. Next slide. Kita cepat sikit. Okay. Lagi satu. The diagram. Okay, so in understanding the characteristic of adaptive performance, we have to understand the characteristic or the components that build up adaptive performance. There are four main characteristics. The first one is individual characteristic, such as personality traits, skills, and knowledge. And then we have job characteristics such as decision-making autonomy, job certainty, and task independence. And team characteristics such as how the team work, whether in a supportive culture or how the leadership is for them. And the next one is organizational characteristic, whether the team has a clear vision, innovative environment, support, and whatnot. So next, so this is how the research framework will look like. Next, okay, so based on the key characteristic and based on the based on the work of Rosen et al., which I will show you later. So I have come up with this framework involving the independent variable, the characteristics of adaptive behavior, which will lead to team cohesion and which will lead to team adaptive performance. So this model is believed to be the first one to be done in Malaysia if it is successfully done next year, inshallah. And it is novel because the framework is multidimensional, whereby it takes into account a wide range of factors from individual to organizational. And I would like also to introduce team cohesion as a mediator. If for those who study organizational behavior, they will see many studies take cohesion as independent variable, not as mediating, but there are some studies that promotes or propose team cohesion as a mediator. And this study will be the first one, to my knowledge, to be done in the Malaysian context, and it will use certain behavioral markers which have not been applied before in the Malaysian context, proposed by Rosen et al. 2011. Next slide. So this is the guiding principles and behavioral markers in which the research framework is inspired by Rosen et al. 2011. It has four major components: individual characteristic, emergent states, and the adaptive cycle and team adaptation. As you can see, adaptive team performance comes from a very intricate process originating from individual characteristics, job characteristic, and it leads to team adaptation. Next. Okay, so why team cohesion is proposed as a mediator? Cohesion is the degree of connectedness, unity, and commitment among team members. It is predicted to be strong. It is predicted to increase shared common goal, high interdependence, and increase complementary skill when cohesion is high. But when it is low, team members are expected to struggle in collaboration and to show lower adaptive performance. And it is relevant to police team due to the changing and unpredictable situations regarding their team working. Okay, next. So to conclude, the study of team adaptive performance among police teams is good because it can enhance the ability of police team to navigate unpredictable situation, even more in a post-pandemic situation as what we are facing now. So it promotes effective engagement, not only with the team members, but also with the public, because it involves public safety, the community, and whatnot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shall we move on to Siti Fahliza?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada Cik Pengurusi Majlis. Saya Siti Fahliza binti Fadli, pelajar PhD Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Bersama-sama dengan Profesor Madya, supervisor saya, akan membentangkan berkaitan isu royalti minyak semasa pentadbiran Musa Aman. Okey, sumber minyak merupakan aset, merupakan salah satu punca pendapatan negara pengeluar minyak. Namun tadbir urus untuk urusan pengeluaran minyak memerlukan tadbir urus yang baik bagi mengelakkan daripada exploitation of sumber minyak tersebut, kerana mengikut kajian sebelum ini terdapat negara-negara pengeluar minyak yang tidak mampu untuk membangunkan pembangunan negara mereka kerana kebanyakan pemimpin negara tersebut terlibat dengan rasuah ataupun sumber minyak tersebut digunakan untuk untuk kepentingan diri sendiri. Oleh yang demikian, artikel ini adalah untuk menjawab soalan berkaitan tuntutan hasil minyak yang lebih tinggi daripada 5% semasa di bawah pentadbiran Musa Aman. Pemilihan tajuk kajian ini merupakan terdapat dua sebab kenapa pemilihan tajuk ini dipilih. Pertama ialah persamaan ideologi dan parti politik di antara kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri yang memberi kelebihan dalam proses pelaksanaan dasar dan polisi. Namun terdapat kekangan apabila timbulnya isu berkaitan ketidaksamarataan dalam pemberian keuntungan hasil minyak kepada kerajaan negeri pengeluar minyak. Malahan keuntungan hasil royalti minyak dianggap tidak setimpal dengan hasil pengeluaran dan tidak memberikan pulangan dan manfaat kepada pembangunan negeri Sabah. Yang kedua, wujudnya kesinambungan tekanan untuk menuntut jumlah hasil royalti minyak yang lebih tinggi daripada 5% di kalangan ahli politik Sabah. Hal ini disebabkan oleh pemberian bidang kuasa pengeluaran minyak yang tertakluk di bawah Petronas serta pengeluaran royalti minyak sebanyak 5% kepada negeri Sabah. Sumbangan kepada kajian, pertama, kajian ini melibatkan penerokan faktor-faktor utama tuntutan hasil royalti minyak yang lebih tinggi di negeri Sabah. Kedua, kajian ini turut meneliti sistem federalisme melalui hubungan kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri Sabah dalam menangani isu tuntutan hasil royalti minyak. Mengikut kajian yang dilakukan sebelum ini, sumber minyak merupakan rizab yang dipunyai oleh kerajaan pusat. Oleh yang demikian, wujudnya tegangan di antara kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri seperti yang berlaku di Sudan dan Selatan Sudan, manakala di Malaysia pula ketegangan di antara kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri seperti berlaku di negeri Kelantan dan Terengganu disebabkan oleh perbezaan ideologi.
Pardon me, the slide has some technical issues. Let us adjust the slide for a while first.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Okay, pergi slide ke 4. Okay, artikel ini juga untuk data collection adalah menggunakan data primer dengan menemu bual 3 ahli politik dan juga menggunakan handset Dewan Undangan Negeri Sabah serta data sekunder menggunakan surat khabar tempatan. Okay, next. Okay, latar belakang konsep fisikal federalisme, hubungan keakraban dan kaitannya dengan isu royalti minyak di Sabah. Perkataan federalisme berasal daripada perkataan fodus, iaitu perjanjian atau persetujuan yang memberi maksud kesatuan di antara wilayah-wilayah negeri secara sukarela bagi membentuk satu persekutuan. Mengikut kajian, terdapat kelemahan dan kelebihan pembentukan persekutuan Malaysia, iaitu pertama, kelemahannya tiada keseragaman, terdapat kegangan keseragaman di antara kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri. Seterusnya, bidang kuasa yang urusan luar negara dan dalam negara yang dibahagikan kepada kerajaan pusat dan juga kerajaan negeri. Kelebihan bagi persekutuan ialah dapat menjamin kesepakatan rakyat dan mengelakkan daripada kezaliman dan memberi kebebasan kepada kerajaan negeri untuk mentadbir urus undang-undang state seperti hal ehwal Islam dan aset negeri. Bagi sejarah persekutuan di Malaysia, Perkataan persekutuan telah pun dilaksanakan semasa pemerintahan British. Terdapat faktor dalaman dan faktor luaran yang menyebabkan persekutuan pembentukan Malaysia pada tahun 1963. Faktor dalaman itu jumlah kaum Cina yang terlalu ramai, dan faktor luaran ialah disebabkan oleh ancaman Indonesia dan juga Filipina. Seterusnya, bidang kuasa kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri telah pun termaktub di bawah Perlembagan Persekutuan Perkara 71 dan 81, dan juga bagi perlembaga dan juga Perlembagan Persekutuan juga memberi hak kepada hak tadbir urus kepada kerajaan negeri seperti yang termaktub dalam jadual ke-9 Senarai 2 Perlembagaan Persekutuan. Physical federalisme menerangkan tujuan untuk menutup jurang keuntungan di antara kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri. Selain itu, pengagihan kesamarataan kepada negeri pengeluar minyak dan bukan pengeluaran dan juga kepada negeri pengeluar minyak. Bagi konsep physical federalisme, bagi physical federalisme yang berkaitan dengan royalti minyak. Konflik physical federalisme berlaku apabila ketidaksamarataan pada agihan hasil royalti, iaitu terdapat dua jenis konflik physical federalisme, iaitu vertical yang berlaku di antara kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri, manakala horizontal yang berlaku yang melibatkan bidang kuasa di antara kerajaan negeri dan kerajaan pusat. Royalty didefinisikan sebagai salah satu jenis cukai yang diberikan kepada pemilik tanah yang dibayar oleh syarikat pengeluar minyak kerana disebabkan diberikan kuasa untuk pengeluaran dan eksploitasi minyak oleh syarikat pengeluar minyak. Pembahagian bidang kuasa Sabah bagi royalti minyak ini termaktub dalam Perlembagaan Persekutuan, di mana diberikan hak untuk menguruskan perhutanan, perlombongan dan hasil hutan dan cukai-cukai seperti cukai air yang diberikan kepada kerajaan negeri Sabah. Manakala bagi seterusnya untuk politik kekerabatan pula, politik kerabatan yang di antara kerajaan negeri Sabah sewaktu Musa Aman dan kerajaan pusat iaitu Najib Razak menunjukkan bahawa persamaan ideologi yang memberi kelebihan kepada kerajaan negeri di bawah Pakatan Barisan Nasional untuk menuntut untuk sama ada untuk memberi kelebihan, sama ada untuk menuntut jumlah hasil minyak yang lebih tinggi daripada 5%. Politik kekerabatan ini telah lama berlaku sewaktu Tun Mustafa, di mana beliau mempunyai hubungan akrab dengan Tunku Abdul Rahman yang memudahkan bagi pembentukan persekutuan Malaysia pada tahun 1963. Seterusnya, faktor-faktor munculnya tuntutan hasil royalti minyak di negeri Sabah. Perjanjian Persekutuan Malaysia 1963 merujuk kepada hasil dapatan kajian temu-temu bual kepada aktor-aktor politik ini. Mereka menyatakan bahawa terdapat sebelum ini terdapat kenyataan bahawa hasil royalti minyak 20% yang dinyatakan dalam Perjanjian Persekutuan Malaysia 1963. Walau bagaimanapun kenyataan ini disangkal oleh Menteri Kewangan yang sewaktu era Tun Razak, yang menyatakan bahawa tidak terdapat mana-mana perjanjian untuk memberikan hasil royalti minyak melebihi 5% di dalam Perjanjian Persekutuan Malaysia. Adapun perjanjian yang berlaku di antara Kerajaan Negeri Sabah dengan British tidak boleh dicampur adukan semasa Perjanjian Persekutuan Malaysia 1963. Seterusnya Perjanjian Akta Kemajuan Petroleum 1974. Perjanjian ini juga memberi kesan di mana memberi kuasa kepada Petronas untuk melakukan eksploitasi dan pengeluaran minyak, dan wujudnya juga perkataan vested, iaitu vested tersebut mengurangkan kuasa kerajaan negeri untuk mentadbir urus hasil keuntungan minyak tersebut. Seterusnya konflik jawatan Perdana Menteri. Faktor-faktor munculnya tuntutan hasil royalti minyak di negeri Sabah juga dinyatakan kerana peranan Perdana Menteri itu terdapat konflik kepentingan di antara MKN yang juga dinaung oleh Perdana Menteri dan juga Chairman Petronas yang juga dinaung oleh Perdana Menteri. Oleh itu apabila Perdana Menteri memakai topi sebagai Chairman Petronas, MKN, beliau memberi akses kepada Petronas yang juga chairmannya adalah Perdana Menteri untuk melakukan eksploitasi minyak dengan menggunakan Akta Wilayah Laut daripada 1963 hingga 2011, sebelum dimasukkan oleh Najib Razak. Seterusnya slide. Okey. Hubungan kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri Sabah dan kesannya terhadap tuntutan royalti minyak di negeri tersebut bersamaan pada ideologi matlamat dan perjuangan parti politik di bawah Barisan Nasional menjalinkan hubungan keakraban di antara kerajaan negeri dan kerajaan pusat. Hal ini merujuk kepada kajian daripada Budi yang menyatakan bahawa hubungan kekerabatan memberi kelebihan kepada rakan kenalan ataupun keluarga yang terdekat yang memberi manfaat kepada hubungan kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri ataupun dalam politik yang memberi kesan kepada ekonomi dan sosial dan politik. Hubungan keakraban di antara kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri di bawah Peraturan Nasional mempunyai limitasi dalam campur tangan kerana terdapat pembahagian kuasa yang sudah pun termaktub dalam Perlembagaan Persekutuan. Namun begitu, terdapat usaha oleh Musa Aman untuk menuntut hasil lebih daripada 5% royalti minyak. Okay, kesimpulannya, hubungan akrab di antara kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri Sabah tidak menghalang Musa Aman untuk menuntut jumlah hasil royalti minyak itu sebanyak 20%. Namun begitu, hubungan keakraban ini tidak memberi kelebihan kepada kerajaan pusat, kerajaan negeri Sabah untuk menerima hasil royalti minyak sebanyak 20% yang dianggap terlalu tinggi. Seterusnya, faktor-faktor yang menyumbang kepada tuntutan hasil royalti minyak ialah disebabkan oleh Perjanjian Malaysia 1963, Perjanjian Akta Petroleum 1974 dan konflik jawatan Perdana Menteri. Kajian ini juga menjelaskan bahawa tiada penjelasan berkaitan pemberian hasil royalti minyak yang lebih tinggi daripada 5% di mana-mana perjanjian yang dimeterai di antara kerajaan pusat dengan kerajaan negeri. Seterusnya, alasan lain bagi tuntutan hasil royalti minyak yang lebih tinggi daripada 5% adalah disebabkan oleh negeri Sabah merupakan negeri pengeluar minyak ialah tidak relevan. Hal ini kerana Kerajaan Persekutuan Malaysia menggunakan pakai sistem federalisme. Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you to all presenters. We shall ask the chair to present some comments and also for moving on to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Ms. Farhana. I'm Suhaidi. I've been given an opportunity to chair this session quite a while. Before we proceed, I just want to know if I saw name Kimi there. Is it Kimi? Where's Kimi? Hilang dah. Tak ada lagi, hilang kan? Okay, anyway. Thank you very much to all presenter today from various discipline, various team in which we try to blend it together in one session. Anyway, just to give some highlight. First paper, presenter talk about TikTok, something that new today. I think the new generation should have this kind of account. And then Dr. Ikram talk about the effect of the relocation of ibu kota from Jakarta, or to be specific, to move in Nusantara, and highlighted the drug and as well as the security issue, and focus toward more on the Kalimantan Utara or the northern part of Borneo. While the third presenter today, I think, focus more on role of a social institution, which is the family, the school, as well as the enforcement toward the to improve ataupun to avoid an awareness about apa kemalangan jalan raya, if not mistaken tadilah. And Dr. Azlin captured something on, if I can wrap it up as the enforcement institution as well, talk about integrity on how people respond toward this, yeah, a lot of things about this, apa yang menjaga negara kita ini, police, yeah, the study of the police institution. And last but not least, we've been highlighted the issue of federalism, the issue of oil royalty, and looking back into the historical context while Musa Aman as the CM at that particular time, and then the string try to bring forward why maybe there is something the hidden thing, hidden issue that been not highlighted yet. Okay, that's the presentation by our presenter today. And for this session, I like to open to all these participants, as well as if any audience together with us to talk to discuss a bit until what time have been allocated for us? 20 minutes, yeah. So if any of us here have question, just yeah, raise your hand. With this, all this type of digital thing, yeah. Even the chairman also have the question, but I spare it later, providing there space and time for. Yeah, May Sapura from ITM. Where are you? In this building or somewhere else?
Yeah, in this building. I'm ready for a physical, but they say
Yeah.
it's online. So
It's okay. Yeah.
rugi lah, really dress up myself.
Yeah, proceed
Okay,
with
anyway,
your
just
concern
joking.
or your comment or your question toward any particular issue that been
Yes,
touched today.
I would like to raise questions to Dr. Azlin regarding your, I think you are trying to propose the adaptive model, is it?
Yes, team adaptive performance.
Adaptive. So, is it the adaptive model in OB is something new?
In organizational behavior,
Yeah.
the model is relatively new in the context of
The adaptive, the word adaptive. Is it
the
new?
word adaptive, not to say new, but it is not in our syllabus lah. It is not studied. It is not studied by many. It's not really new. It has been around for, I think, for 20 years plus, but it is not studied by many.
Because similar to team police is you can also, in my opinion, maybe we can also use the hospital.
Yes, doctors.
Doctors,
Doctors, nurses, medical staff, yeah.
I think the studies on hospital is critical because the doctors are quite undergoing serious level of depression, according to
Very
the
true.
stats.
Very true.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Parmi. It's
Yeah.
just that I have studied nurses before.
But
So now for my next study, I've studied nurses, the military, and the firefighters, and I would like to change my respondent to police.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, thank you for the response. It seemed like all the PGA at like the stage again. All this uniform punya. We
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. So, how about others? Do you have any concern, any comment specifically to all the paper presented today? Yeah. Kalau tak ada, saya adalah. Saya cuma nak dapat komen daripada pembentang kita berkenaan dengan TikTok. Ya, TikTok. Siapa dia tadi? Dr. Hayati ya? Not Hayati. Haryati. Still with us ke? Doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seem like TikTok become the new mode of delivering the campaign nowadays, and then we see it from the past PRN again. So how do you think for the next 5 to 10 years? Is it the digitalization of campaigning method that become the more compared to what we have today? Because the younger generation, which is all the gadget, and then how do you see this? Mungkin saya di luar sikit daripada yang politik ni kan. Tetapi I think macam mana doktor tengok next 5 years tak perlu keluar rumah lagi ke?
Are you okay? If you're okay, if you think that going to be the main in political instrumental tool to persuade voters, we need young people. But from what I gather, actually, I have repeated another study, the same thing, and this was on the current they just included PRN election, and it's the same data. Social media is going to be the tool that is going to persuade young people from voting, because there are factors that's going to affect, that's going to influence them. You see, one of the reasons is because the way this politician communicate their communication strategy, a lot of them they use like but the
Hilang ya? Boleh? Is it from here or from over there?
internet line. Internet.
Oh, okay. You can continue, Dr. Hayati.
I think my line is fine. Okay,
Maybe
let's this now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sickness. Yeah, it's okay. Right. I think is it our line here? No. Okay. I don't quarrel about the line. But anyway, Seem like Dr. Hayati coming back join us. Tak ada. You cakap ke?
Problem with your line. Okay. Said we cannot totally rely on social media alone. With, I think I'll chat. I'll type. We cannot rely on social media on in terms of the book. I think I'll stop my video now. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, well, what we gone through the data, we can rely totally on social media because the young people are they're born into this. So they're much more literate us.
Dr. Hayati,
I think
we're facing some difficulties here.
okay, I'll just type.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, because I think
I'll just
yeah,
type.
I agree with you. We cannot rely
Okay.
so 100% on technology. Yeah. Like what we're facing now. Maybe that might be happen in the future.
Yeah, as you can see,
While doing the campaigning and so
yeah.
on and so forth. But anyway, thank you very much. I enjoy
Yeah, we
your
cannot,
TikTok. Yeah,
as you can,
saya pun dah
yeah.
buka account TikTok juga sekarang. Yeah. Anak-anak semua di TikTok. They don't watch anything di TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's quite good presentation to me. Ikram is still with us, or you are in Jakarta now?
No, unfortunately, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, Ikram. I think your idea of looking into the security safety because of the relocation of the kota negara from Jakarta to Nusantara, will bring some maybe negative impact toward the Borneo itself. Yeah, that includes Sarawak as well, juga Brunei. Yeah. So, to what extent this can be, maksudnya ada collaboration about the safety as well as the security issue antara all these 3 or 4 region in term of looking into specifically benda yang tak pandai sampai hujung ni, dadah, drug. So, what your comment on that? Who's responsibility for that and so on? Yeah. To
Terima
get
kasih,
some idea on that.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for the question. Right, so as we know that we have BIM Niaga, and then we have, I think, a few collaboration between Malaysia and Indonesia, also Brunei as well, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah.
So, however,
Filipina.
yeah, and Filipina, but the Filipina is quite far, and yeah, and then Filipina also we have BTA, something like that. The BTA, if I'm not mistaken, they have been discussed this week about the rate and everything, so on and so forth. And as we know that next year Indonesia will be the leader for the Asian, and of course there will will be chair. I'm so sorry, chair for the ASEAN, right? So I have met Dr. Rizal Sukma, Pak Rizal Sukma, and Pak Jose, and I also have asked the same question to them, and then they said we will see how, because right now we are still waiting for the election in Indonesia. We don't know who is to be a president. All right. So we also uncertain about the policy of the moving of capital from Indonesia, Jakarta to the Nusantara. So that's the issue. They say also they will postpone or they will continue what Pak Jokowi said. So for the drug and smuggling and so on and so forth, I think this issue still not be resolved until now, because we still have an issue with the budget and then we cannot get the cooperation between masyarakat sempadan, because when we say about masyarakat sempadan, they don't know, especially for those who are in, in sempadan between Sarawak, Sabah and Kalimantan. They said this is their place. They don't know which country they should be. So that's the issue. So we need to educate them. So that's why I said peranan masyarakat is most important if we want to settle the issue. We don't want to have a policy top to down. So we also need to have an issue from down to the top. That's the answer, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ikram. Yeah, I think it's not fair if we don't ask about this royalty thing. Yeah, just we share. If any of you also have something to concern about, you may highlight your concern or your comment here. Yeah, I don't want to put control by myself the show itself unless there's no question. Yep. Anybody want to ask your colleague? Yeah, Ms. Sapura.
I would like to ask a question to Dr. Ikram.
Yeah, tanya dia.
Dr. Ikram,
Yeah.
the moving from Jakarta to Nusa Tenggara in area of Kalimantan, yeah, I can see that the threatening factor, like to Sabah, there's an influx a lot of Filipinos in Sabah. So if we go to Sabah, also there are a few Indonesians, but not that many. So if moving the center to Kalimantan area, so it would be like some new injection of challenges to Sabah in terms of new party lah, parti pendatang asing tanpa izin, that's the concern. And then so when you say that it's also a great concern to the neighborhood like Sabah and all that. So my question is, to what extent can the neighborhood country gives influence the decision of Indonesia moving their ibu kota from Jakarta to Kalimantan?
Thank you, Doctor. So answering your question is actually when you said hello, hi, test.
Yeah, teruskan Dr. Ikram.
I mute my mic
Yeah.
so that allow you to speak without intervention.
Okay. I will say that I have an issue tonight. Alright, okay. So menjawab soalan tersebut, katakan bagaimana ia berefek kepada negara jiran dan sebagainya, Filipina, Indonesia. So pendatang tanpa izin, kalau kami di Sabah tu kami more tu pekerja tanpa izin lah. Sebab Sabah sebenarnya untuk makluman bahawa hasil juga interview kami dengan beberapa orang di sana dalam bidang orang kanan kerajaan dan sebagainya. So memang di Sabah atau kami memang orang kata memerlukan pekerja asing. Sekiranya pekerja asing ini khususnya di kawasan kelapa sawit dan sebagainya, sekiranya disekat ataupun tidak ada dan sebagainya, maka kolaps satu sektor tersebut. Dan perpindahan tersebut juga sememangnya memberikan impak, sebab kami khawatir sekiranya pemindahan ibu kota Jakarta ke Nusantara tersebut, ramai yang cakap tidak berlaku perpindahan daripada orang kata Indonesia ke Sabah dan sebagainya. Tetapi isunya adalah kami risau perpindahan pula yang akan berlaku daripada Sabah ke Kalimantan, kerana dengan our currency, ekonomi dan sebagainya, sebab Indonesia dah moving forward. So kita risau pekerja-pekerja asing ini akan pindah ke Kalimantan pula. So kita terkhuatir juga dia akan memberi impak ekonomi kepada Malaysia dan Sabah lah khususnya. Baik, itu saja dari saya.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. So, my questions have not been answered. To what extent, the neighborhood country like Malaysia boleh bagi influence on their decision making to shift? Can influence Indonesia to change, not to pindah to Kalimantan? To what extent can we do that?
Baik, influence daripada segi apa, Doktor? Keselamatan ke, ekonomi ke, apa atau macam mana, Doktor?
Yeah, knowing that the impact on economy, knowing impact on this keselamatan, so can we, our voice, can it be heard by Indonesia? Do they consider our concern?
Of course, Doktor. Sebab macam saya kata tadi, di mana dari segi aspek ekonomi, limpahan tu limpahan ekonomi daripada Indonesia ke Malaysia, Malaysia ke Indonesia, semacam barter trade, kemudian di Indonesia mereka ada buat smart city, kemudian kita ada BTA yang dibincangkan pada minggu ini dan sebagainya. Sedikit sebanyak kita ada pengaruh juga mempengaruhi kepada perpindahan tersebut. So kita tak nak mewujudkan zero sum game. Actually we want to wujudkan win-win situation di mana kedua-dua negara apa orang kata saling menang antara satu sama lain, dan kita tidak mahu melihat ada negara yang cuba conquer kepada negara lain. So in other words, interconnected or interdependency between both country, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ikram, Dr. Mir. So before we go to the main hall for portal session, I'd like to get some response from siapa tadi yang bentang minyak kita ni, yeah. There's a new notion in Borneo. On the other part, they call Sabah for Sabahan, Sarawak for Sarawakian. Yeah. So to what extent, kalau bolehlah minyak yang ada into this region, and to be specific in Sabah, become a weapon of the weak, in term of demand something that beyond di perkara 20 or soalan saya macam-macam pula. Perkara 20 or stipulate under MA63. What your opinion on this? Pandang.
Doktor, bagi pendapat saya, berbeza isu royalti minyak yang berlaku di negeri Sabah dengan negeri Sarawak. Kalau ikut kajian, negeri Sarawak dikira sebagai kingmaker kerana mereka ada penyatuan dari pembangkang dan dari Barisan Pembangkang dan Kerajaan Dewan Undangan Negeri Sarawak, di mana mereka bersepakat untuk menuntut hasil royalti minyak yang lebih banyak daripada 5%. Di situ kita melihat apabila ada penyatuan tersebut, mereka menjadi kingmaker dan berupaya untuk menguasai dan bukan menguasai lah, indirectly mempengaruhi kerajaan pusat untuk memohon apa-apa permintaan daripada kerajaan pusat. Itu yang saya lihat. Itu kalau dilihat daripada rentetan sebelum ini, Chief Minister Sarawak berjaya menerima berjaya apa-apa permohonan daripada negeri Sarawak sewaktu daripada kerajaan Muhyiddin sebagai contoh. Beliau berjaya memohon mendapat isu berkaitan keuntungan cukai yang dibawa ke mahkamah, dan isu tersebut settle di luar mahkamah, dan there is a hidden, I don't know what is the agenda after that. Dan selepas itu juga kerajaan Sarawak juga berjaya memohon untuk patron, di mana beliau melaungkan ketidakpuas-hatian pekerja-pekerja syarikat minyak tersebut yang kebanyakannya daripada Petronas, dan selepas itu mereka memohon untuk memberi ilmu atau training kepada staff patron tersebut. Saya rasa sebagai pendapat saya, Sarawak berbeza dengan Sabah, sebab Sabah ni tidak ada penyatuan dan lebih kepada daripada DUN tersebut, mereka tidak ada kesatuan daripada pembangkang dan kerajaan.
Okey, terima kasih. Itu saya betul sebahagian daripadanya. Devolution of power kita di Sarawak ni, saya ke Sarawak lah kan. And then that's why we believe in term of Sabah pun rasanya mungkin akan buat lah kan. The first step kita ambil, kita ubah Ketua Menteri jadi Premier. Just to show that we are something different from the Islam. But anyway, that's not an issue here. But thank you for your comment, question, as well as to respond to a particular question by our colleague. So at 12 o'clock, pesanan penaja, pesanan organizer kita, tapi tak adalah yang dalam ini kan, cuma yang inilah ya. Tapi dia akan ambil ke gambar terus? Oh, okay. All CA akan ambil. So if possible boleh tolong buka video, except mungkin Dr. Ikram dia nak. Tapi boleh try Dr. Ikram. Ya. Ya. Ani. Semua dia. Dr. Hayati tak dapat, tak sempat.
Nur Izzah tak ada.
Hmm.
Dr. Hayati, can you, oh, Dr. Hayati problem. Puan Ani Farida and Puan Siti Fahliza. Oh, Dr. Siti Fahliza. Oh, okay, dia buka dua ya.
Okay. Izzah. Terima kasih semua atas penyertaan dalam MSC ke-13. We look forward for your present dalam MSC14 nantilah. Mungkin petang ni kita tahu siapa hostnya. Okay.